Et bonjour YouTube, j'espère que vous avez bien de la forme. Ce soir, vous retrouver pour la suite du Future Game Show, deuxième partie sur le SGF Live from Los Angeles. C'est parti après une première partie du Future Game Show qui était fort intéressant. Ça continue avec le FGS Live from Los Angeles, où a priori il y a encore d'autres annonces. On est ensemble pour bon 3 quarts d'heure, 1 heure. Et c'est parti. Go to Los Angeles. Hollywood.
What a Hollywood ending to the Future Game Show Summer Showcase.
Alors,
Thank you very much to Matt and Laura for their amazing work as host, but it is not over yet. As you might be able to tell, there are some new stars in town.
Voilà.
That being myself, Jules Gill.
And myself, Amy Mallet, and welcome to FGS Live from Los Angeles. We are bringing you today some exclusive new trailers, demo drops, release date announcements, and of course, world premieres.
In fact, let's start with our very first exclusive. It is our very first world premiere.
Les premières rôles premières, ça commence bien. Online multiplayer gameplay. Un jeu à la Palward, un peu. Ouais, ça a l'air d'être un peu à la Palward. Ah non, ça bouge, ça vole. Ah, c'est nous qui nous transformons. Royal of the Wild Sky. Ok.
Oh, wait, you're telling me that you can become a pirate, transform into an animal at will, and build your own skyfaring vessel?
And do it all with your mates. All of
Ouais,
that
ça a
footage
l'air
came from
intéressant,
the
hein.
in-game online
Plein de
multiplayer.
mécaniques.
It's still my beating heart. I can finally live out my dream.
Of being a pirate?
No,
Yeah,
just having
plutôt
hair
cool.
at will.
Ah, fair. Well, anyway, Guardians of the Wild Sky is coming to PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. You can wishlist it now
Et
and
PC
sign up for the
console, ça
benefits.
arrivera.
Amazing.
Ok.
Now, Jules, I don't want to shock you,
Good, because I do have a weak heart.
but our next game is a terrifying twist on an old-school classic. Let's have a look at the multiplayer mode for System Shock 2's remaster.
Whoa!
I'll be the first to die. Did you kill him?
I shot him. He's still alive though.
So, in order to get out of that room, you're gonna have to push a button on the wall. Oh, okay, you jumped down. Okay. 2 broken ankles. I think those sorts.
There's probably a hypo for that.
I might have triggered 5 tropical roids. Don't. No.
Okay. Wow, this is a cramped elevator.
Yeah, this is almost like it wasn't designed for full players. Here comes. But it's. Oh.
Oh god.
System Shock 2, 25e anniversaire remaster. 26 juin. Partout, ça sort partout.
Oh, that multiplayer looks brilliant. I love any kind of game mode where I can accidentally blow up my mates.
Indeed, and you can blast Showdown back to base elements when System Shock 2's remaster releases on June the 26th.
Now, Jules, do you know what else is fun?
Ripping off somebody's skin, wearing it to fool their mates, and then pretending to worship an eldritch god?
That was actually exactly what I was going to say. How did you...
I wrote this part of the script, so yeah.
Oh, fair. This is Necrofugitive.
In Necrofugitive,
Allez, on
you
enchaîne.
are the monster. The nation of Avencia is at war. As the last surviving member of your cult, your deity has gifted you with unholy powers. Shapeshift through the kingdom, transform into enemies and deceive your foes. Unleash chaos wherever you go. Choose abilities on the skill tree and create the ultimate heretic of your dreams. Go in stealth, go in combat, go however you want toward freedom. The choice is yours. Other games let you pet the dog. In this game, you can be the dog. Plus, for the first time, we're announcing local co-op. Team up with a doppelganger and take Adventia by storm. Necrofugitive is coming to Kickstarter on June 24th. Pre-order now and get a free copy of Dead Man's Hand card roulette action when you purchase the full game. Necrofugitive. Demo available on Steam.
Necrofugitive.
Necrofugitive is coming to
C'est une
PC
démo.
and consoles with a Kickstarter launching on June 24th.
It is pure chaos, and I absolutely love it. But you know what else I absolutely love?
Go on.
Planning road networks for busy cities.
Oh, it's a wild Friday night over at your house, isn't it?
You have no idea, mate.
Well, you're in luck, because our next game is the Golden Joystick Award-nominated Mini Motorways, which is bringing out a brand new game mode. How exciting! Start your engines.
Mini Motorways, ok.
How does a game look both charming and tense at the same time?
Oh, it's the look that I go for. It's called being socially anxious and a people pleaser.
Ah, right, okay. And
Ça
fans
ressemble un
of
peu à
Mini
Mini Metro,
Motorways
quoi,
will sure
finalement.
be pleased with that announcement, and you
Ça
too
avait
can
l'air.
check out the new creative mode when it drops on the 26th of August for Apple Arcade, Switch,
Là, le
and
26
PC.
le
Up
26
next is a
août,
game
pardon.
that's making
Pour
waves
Switch et
due to its
PC.
breathtaking art style and high-octane action. This is Moros Protocol.
Threat detected.
Moros Protocol qui arrive cet automne.
Can
Oui,
you
Kickstarter sur
escape the
Steam.
confines of a decaying and deadly
Pas vu
warship?
grand
Or
chose, hein.
find out for yourself when the Morose Protocol drops on PCs later this year. And of course, you can wishlist it right now.
So, Jules, what's your deepest fear?
Well, that is a tough one, actually. It could either be my cats finally becoming sentient and telling me that I'm too needy, or that my beard hair falls out and you find out that I've got no chin whatsoever.
I mean, hold on to those harrowing thoughts, because we're about to have an interview with developers Variable State for upcoming sci-fi horror Deepest Fear. Have you really got no chin?
Like a turtle.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Burrows, creative director of Variable State. Right now, our team is working on Deepest Fear, a claustrophobic horror shooter in a
Deepest
retro-futuristic setting. You play Danny
Le
Carroll,
tir d'horreur.
survivor of a catastrophic disaster aboard an underwater habitat. Far beneath the ocean, a secret has been unearthed which throws mankind's future into jeopardy. You must fight your way to the heart of a sinister project and uncover a mystery both deeply personal and profound in its implications. The game is an immersive sim with Metroidvania level design. It's a spiritual successor to games like System Shock 2 and Prey 2017. What distinguishes Deepest Fear from similar titles is its unique focus on real-time fluid simulation. Water in Deepest Fear looks and behaves in physically accurate ways. It flows over surfaces and floods environments, it conducts electricity, it transfers heat, it knocks you off your feet with surging currents and deadly vortexes. And it can be manipulated by creating dams, locking down compartments, and using tools and equipment unique to our sci-fi setting. And more than that, a deadly pathogen has infected the ocean itself, creating a primordial soup for violent entities to spontaneously manifest from. Every puddle, leak, or water source is a potential spawn point for an entity to strike. Some of the greatest stories ever told in games have come from the horror genre. Our ambition is for Deepest Fear to sit alongside these great works. Success is not guaranteed, but we know our commitment to quality and creativity are second to none. We will accept nothing less than to make the best game possible with the resources we have available. So expect AAA quality weapon feel, expect creative, strategic enemy AI behaviors, expect intuitive customizable controls, and expect high, stable frame rates across a range of hardware specs. For now, Deepest Sphere is coming exclusively to Steam. If you'd like to see the game on other platforms, please let those platform holders know we want it too. As for Deepest Sphere's development, we'll have more to share about the game in the coming months. Please wishlist the game on Steam if you like what you see. We want Deepest Sphere to be the next great immersive sim, and your enthusiasm energizes our creativity. So please spread the word, tell your friends, talk about the game on social media. It really helps more than you can imagine.
Ok.
Enjoy the rest of the show. Bye.
Sphere, wishlistable sur Steam.
Scary stuff indeed, my friends. If you're looking for a horror show underwater, then Deepest Fear may be the game for you.
It sounds chilling, Jules, which right now would be most welcome. I am getting crispy in the LA sun.
Yeah, tell me about it. Even though I've got Factor 1000 liberally applied all over my body, I am burning up. In fact, I'm going to need to take a breather for a bit, if that's okay.
That's absolutely fine. In fact, our next game is both an action-packed RPG and an idle game, which for those of you who don't know, is a game where you can literally play it half asleep with your hand on the mouse, clicking away.
Amazing stuff. Well,
Brilliant.
This is Berserk Bits.
Berserk. Berserk qu'on a vu déjà plusieurs fois. Hein. Berserk Beats qui arrivera donc fin 2025, quatrième trimestre.
And you can wish this Berserk Bits over on Steam right now and check out an updated demo ahead of its launch later this year.
Now, prepare thy ears, Julian, because next we have a glorious coming-of-age adventure that doesn't just feature a bopping soundtrack.
Okay.
The bopping soundtrack is woven into the gameplay. Here's Mixtape.
Oh, c'est Mixtape encore.
What are we doing? Hanging out.
Pour la 15 millième
Getting
fois.
buzzed.
Mixtape is a coming-of-age action-adventure game about three friends on their last night together, and they listen to this perfectly curated mixtape containing music from Devo and Joy Division and Lush and Smashing Pumpkins and a whole bunch of incredible music. And through gameplay, through music, you relive their finest hours.
It felt important at the time.
The music is a mixtape and so is the gameplay. There's everything from skateboarding to pulling slushies. There's an amazing level where you toilet paper a house. And let me just say, I just want to say our toilet paper tech is second to none. The way you can toilet paper that house, I'm extremely proud of. And, you know, a Grand Theft Auto, nothing on our toilet paper tech.
Mom, who is it?
One moment. It's the pigs, darling.
I'd say one of the things I enjoyed most about making the game was collating the soundtrack and then getting the wheels in motion of how to get that music. I'm not saying it was The Cure, but I remember we were trying to get one song and one of the people who owned the copyright was up a mountain and we had to like send a Sherpa to go and find this guy so we could get the rights to Plain Song by The Cure. So that was definitely one of the most exciting things, was like tracking down these artists. I think if you really love hangout movies like Dazed and Confused or Ferris Bueller's Day Off, or you're really into Wayne's World, I think that a lot of those references that you will get into Mixtape. And I think game-wise, it's hard to draw some comparisons to what it is. I think it's a weird mishmash of different things. I think maybe like What Remains of Edith Finch is something you could draw on. Obviously, it's tonally whiplash from that game, but like I said, it's a mixtape of craziness, of music, of different emotions, of different eras even, and a different gameplay. Mixtape, it's coming very soon, wishlisted on Steam. You're going to be able to play it on Xbox and on Game Pass Day 1, PlayStation, Epic, wherever. Sega Dreamcast, please go out and play it. Thanks very much.
Mixtape.
There have been noise complaints.
Okay.
Mixtape donc arrivera partout, un PC, console.
Featuring an ear-tickling soundtrack of absolute bangers, Mixtape is coming to PC, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series later this year. They had me at toilet roll TPing a house.
Not enough games have that as a feature, in my opinion, over there. Now, Ames, I just want to say something right here, right now. I think that you would make a great queen. And you want to know why? I think it's because you're kind, you're very regal, and I think that once the battle is about to begin, you would give one hell of a rousing speech.
Oh, thanks, man. I think you make a pretty good monarch, too. After all, jewels. The crown jewels. The puns. It writes itself.
Well, luckily for us, the next game that we're going to be talking about, Thrive Heavy Lies the Crown, is a medieval monarch simulator that is multiplayer, so we can play together. Take a look.
Full release le 18 juin.
Thrive Heavy Lies the Crown is out now in early access, and if you play it, you too can build your own medieval legacy. Amy, what are you doing?
I'm practicing my breach and clear maneuvers, Jules.
Right, that seems like the obvious time to do that.
It actually is, because in our next game, you and up to 3 friends can take part in police raids as a crack team of operatives. This is Phantom Squad.
Phantom Squad. Oh, c'est rapide, hein, le trailer.
Louise, that game looks intense.
It really does. And you can get ready to clear, breach and detain sooner than you think, because Phantom Squad has a demo out right now, Jules.
Oh, lovely stuff. Well, I'll tell you what, let's keep the action going, because now we're going to chat to Rogue Factor and their upcoming game, Hell Is Us. They took us on a lovely studio tour and gave us a developer interview, which is coming up right now.
So Hell Is Us, in terms of genre, for me, it's just an adventure game. And I truly mean this in the sense that you're going to go live an adventure with a very strong emphasis on exploration and discovery with absolutely no hand-holding. And it's kind of 50% exploration, 50% combat, so third-person melee combat with medieval weapons, even though it takes place in the modern era. There's a whole story behind that, of course. And yeah, I mean, you're by yourself and you need to figure out what's going on and go on investigations and fight your way through at the same time. So today I'll talk about the dungeons in Hell Is Us and what they mean and why they're there. They're so linked to the story and the lore and the deep history of the country and why all that stuff is happening without spoiling anything. And they're tremendously at the center of your golden path and what you need to achieve. I don't want the dungeons to be in modern environments as well, like an abandoned warehouse or an abandoned metro station or stuff. I still wanted the dungeons to be like, you feel like you're Indiana Jones, you know what I mean? And you need to go through them, and there's puzzles and there's things to figure out. There's side stuff in them as well, and there are main challenges at the end, which are not always necessarily like a boss fight related, but there's always like a bit of an eclectic thing happening at the end. Obviously, we're a very small team for a game this big. Like, we reach maybe 55 people. So the dungeons, they're not all of them as complex as some, like all the time. And yeah, it's just, again, it's just this good old thing of like, there's dungeons in this game. You know what I mean? Like, even though if it's not your main minute-to-minute thing, they're there.
Il y a les As qui arrivent donc le 4 septembre.
And you can explore the supernatural world of Hideo when Hell Is Us drops for current-gen consoles and PC on September the 5th. And I, for one, cannot wait.
Oh, I'm so excited for Hell Is Us. Up next, we have a self-announced love letter to the Souls-like series and the merciless combat and esoteric storytelling that fans have learnt to love and cry relentlessly about. This is Prison of Husks.
You coveted my heart in life. Would you still do so?
Placid Pulse present.
Wake up, my love. Seek your beloved.
Prison of Husks.
You can check out Prison of Husks right now on Steam. There's a free demo.
Now, fresh off of its recent announcement, we're off to the strange world of Davy X. Jones, which, if you've not seen, is basically like if Doom was mixed with pirates. And yes, I love everything about that.
Yarr!
Ah, un jeu sur Davy Jones. Ah, c'est marrant ça. On n'est pas vu passer.
We're Parasite, a studio of industry veterans behind the critically acclaimed Blacktail. And this is your first dive into the Locker, our new world, the surreal pirate underworld of Davy X. Jones. Welcome to a fresh take on the legend, where story fuels action and death is just the beginning. Betrayed, robbed, and beheaded, pirate captain Davy Jones sinks to the Locker, a seafarer's afterlife. Now, it's time for revenge, with your body and your talking skull fighting side by side. Two halves of a legend, one hell of a journey. In Davy X. Jones, you'll explore 9 islands floating in an infinite sea of clouds, each with its own unexpected challenges and unique secrets to uncover. Master first-person combat with sword, gun, and grappling hook as you fight your way back into legend, one behemoth at a time. Fast, fluid, and fierce, Davy X. Jones brings classic pirate fantasy to life with a twisted edge. It's bold and powered by dark humor, all wrapped in a world as strange as it is stunning. Ready to jump in? You won't have to wait long. Play Davy X. Jones demo during Steam Next Fest. Wishlist now, spread the word, and get ready to become the devil himself.
Okay, Davy Jones.
Who's the greatest pirate of them all? That's right, Captain Davy and Jones. What, you think we need one more? You think we need one more?
Ah, plutôt stylé en vrai.
We'll get one more.
Amazing stuff indeed, and you can be sure that we'll be covering Davy X. Jones more here on the FGS socials, so stay tuned and check out that new demo as well.
Now, if you thought life in general was pretty grim, try surviving on the hostile landscape of Mars. Here's Blind Descent.
You're finally awake. I recommend initiating a scan of your surroundings. You are 10 miles below the Martian surface. No signals detected. As your AI assistant, I advise immediate adaptation. Becoming a part of the ecosystem is essential for long-term survival. Chance of escape. Non-zero. Chance of locating other crew members. Non-zero. Some may still be
Ligne
alive.
descente. Ça sort partout, ouais, partout, sauf sur... Non, pas sur Switch.
Blind Descent will be coming to early access for PC very shortly, and you can wishlist the game right now. But let's change pace as we talk about how rubbish dating is.
Oh my god, mate. All the apps are rubbish. Sometimes I wish I could just date my PS5.
Well, luckily for you, I've got just the game for you, because we're going to be talking about Date Everything, a dating simulator in which you can literally date everything. We're talking lusty lampshades and saucy sauce pots. Quite something.
And we're going to throw it back to Matthew and Laura, who starred in the game, to tell us what it was like turning inanimate objects into intimate objects with just their mouths. That sounded better in my head.
No, it didn't. Roll the footage.
Hello, you pathetic, worthless little wretch.
What can you tell me about your next project?
Date everything.
Was that burp? Date everything. So sorry.
You can date Matt's burp.
Probably that's the DLC.
Présentateur sur Game Show
I
qu'on
play
retrouve.
a laundry hamper. She's possessive. And it's an unhealthy relationship, but you should totally try it out.
Maybe you can fix her.
Yeah, maybe. What about you?
I play Chance, the D20, to no one's surprise.
You open your mouth and out comes...
Chance, what a great name.
He's great too.
They put so many people in this game.
And it's so well written.
It really is. It was so much fun.
It's rare that someone comes out with a game that ends a genre. Because I don't know what you date from this point forward in games. Where you can date everything.
You can date your existentialism, can't you?
Oh yeah. Among other, I know a few things that you can unlock in that game, and it's so... Play it. It's coming out soon.
It's going to be really fun.
So good. The writing is
really
incredible. It's so well done, y'all.
Sup, baby? That's a fantastic red shirt you've got. Glad it doesn't cover your sweet ass.
Date everything.
It is like nothing I have ever known before or since.
Okay, that's everything.
Thank you very much to Matt and Laura for that wonderful take on this very strange game.
Ça a l'air
And
bien
what you
chelou.
saw was in fact only a humble snippet of a much bigger interview coming to the FGS YouTube channel soon with the lovely Matthew Mercer and Laura Bailey. So subscribe for that.
And you too can date everything when the game drops on June the 17th for Xbox Series X and S, PS5, Nintendo Switch, and of course, PC.
Now, sticking with the theme of looking at your home in a different way, we're going to have a little look at brain-tickling puzzler, The House of Tesla.
Ah, ça je me suis noté aussi, The House of Tesla. J'attends de fou. Je l'ai déjà wishlist. House of Tesla. Je suis sûr que c'est wishlist ça déjà depuis bien longtemps.
I mean, I struggle to change a bloody light bulb in my house, so I've got no chance with that game. However, you too can feel illuminated mentally when House of Tesla drops on Xbox Series X and S, PS5 and PC later this year.
Now, Jules, think fast. What's next?
I just told you my brain no work good. Topless dog poker.
Oh, I wish. It's another world premiere.
Oh, that was like my fifth guess.
Enjoy.
Hope. That's my name. My home is in the city of Shenyang. It's beautiful.
And I've always felt safe here. But that's all about to change. I live with my parents in a small apartment downtown. Or I did. I'm home! Mom? Dad? Anyone here? What happened? I need to find my parents. But how can I if I don't even know why they disappeared? People here are scared and don't want to get involved. But at least some are willing to talk. I don't know where this is leading me, but every clue reveals more of the city's darkest secrets. No matter what, I have to find my parents. And as long as I'm searching, I still have hope.
Hope in the city. Ok. Gameplay reveal à la Gamescom en août. Ok. Bon, on en verra un peu plus. Je suis curieux pour le coup, ouais, d'en voir plus. Donc à la Gamescom.
And that was the world premiere cinematic trailer for Hope in the City, a neo-noir mystery coming soon to PC. If you like what you saw, wish this now on Steam.
Now, with our next game, we're travelling back in time to medieval legacies of sword fighting and, of course, bardcore music.
Is it called Rhythm of the Night?
No.
A Hard Day's Night?
No.
All Night Long?
Are you done?
Never.
Roll the clip.
Night Fever?
No.
Since we've got all the time in the world, let me tell you a story about King Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table. It was a mythical time when being a knight really meant something. For them, honor was worth even more than life. But they knew how to spare their adversary when he deserved it. They courageously confronted the treacherous and deceitful, and delivered justice to the poor and oppressed. They served their king and queen loyally, in war and in peace, because they knew that their sovereigns would support them in return when they needed it. Magic was everywhere. And fairies, dragons, and giants were part of every great adventure. Above all, it was a time when the strength of warriors came from love, not hate. Listen to this story and learn, young knight. Because when reality is nothing but lies, violence, and injustice, it is wise to turn to legends for hope.
Legend of the Rune Fable. Notable. The Rune Table. 29 septembre prochain, et la démo qui est disponible sur Steam.
Legends of the Round Table is a colourful medieval RPG in which you undertake perilous quests in order to defend your kingdom.
Well met, my liege. Up next, we have the sequel to a beloved action RPG that I know loads of people are excited about, especially this guy.
Yep.
We spoke to the devs behind Moonlighter 2, The Endless Vault. Here's what you can expect from the upcoming game.
Moonlighter, on a vu encore une fois pas mal dans ce Summer Game Fest.
Moonlighter 2 is basically the direct sequel to the first one, and you are a little merchant that used to get into trouble, and you will experience like classic fantasy adventures, so seen in many video games, but as the role of a merchant that has to take care of a shop and survive. Basically, what we tried with Moonlighter 2 is bring everything that made it special, the first one, and try to upgrade it, update it, make it more polished, more fitting, and we are trying to make new and old players come back and enjoy a lot like the world and the game that we made for them. So yeah, I hope we made it.
Already, a lot of people already love it. And this time we are going more rogue, we are going 3D, we are going into a whole new dimension of quality and ambition. Honestly, the thing I'm more excited to see people trying and to try it myself when the game is fully released is the new combat system, because I already love all the Zelda nods here and there in the first game, but this time you can feel that there's a new combat system, a more deeper system in there, like with the perks that we also have in the dungeons, that you can really create and experiment in a lot more ways than in the first game, and I'm really excited to try that. I think that if you love Hades and how it's played, and you grew up playing Wind Waker, you have the perfect tiling here. Moonlighter 2 is coming to PC, PlayStation and Xbox Series this summer, so I can't wait for you to try it.
Tell me, little merchant, how much
Moonlighter
can
qui
you
sortira
take?
donc partout, PC, console. Moonlighter 2, The Endless Vault.
Oh man, that looks absolutely fantastic.
It looks so good, doesn't it? They've added loads of new mechanics. Moonlighter 2, The Endless Vault is coming to PlayStation 5, PC, and Xbox Series this summer.
Fantastic
Yeah,
stuff.
Switch.
Now, Amy, how do you fancy revealing another release date for another game?
Oh, go on then.
Okay, well, here's the official release date trailer for upcoming quirky action rhythm puzzle platformer Antro.
I am the guilt of the consequence of everything that was destroyed. I gave myself to work. Work frees us from all guilt. I surrender to El Salva. El Salva watches over us. I surrender to La Cupola. La Cupola provides. Only then will we see the sun. Only then will we see the sun. Only then will we see the sun.
Antro. 27 juin, Steam, PS5, Xbox.
You heard it here first, guys. Antro is coming to PS5, Xbox Series, and PC on the 27th of June.
Antro.
If you're keen, wishlist it now and have a bash at the free demo.
Now, Amy, I've got a question for you. How do you feel about clowns?
Absolutely not.
Ah, that is a shame, because we're actually going to be talking about Terrify, the arcade game, an old-school beat-em-up side-scrolling
Il reste
title,
6
and it
jeux, a
stars
priori.
everyone's favourite murderous clown, Art. Plus, it's co-op, so we can play it together.
How about I watch you play from behind a pillow?
Oh, I was hoping that you take charge. I'm terrified too.
Oh, le clown maléfique là. Avec une démo pour Terrifier. Oh, sortie physique en plus. Ok.
Art the Clown is a classy man, if you ask me. I also take a bin bag on a night out.
I've told you about that. That's just weird. Why do you... Anyway, Terrify the arcade game is coming to PC and consoles very soon. And of course, it's going to be invading your nightmares as well.
Now, I reckon I can sell you, Jules, on our next game in 6 words.
Absolutely impossible, but go on.
Bears and giraffes in mech suits.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Roll that trailer. Roll that trailer.
Listen up, rookie. You think you've got what it
Ça sent le
takes
jeu
to
complètement
survive.
Ouais. Ok.
Upgrade. Unleash the ultimate machine. Rewrite the battlefield. Again, again, and again. So choose your pilot. Build your mech. Lock your loadout. This is Animal Stars Arena.
What the fuck?
I tell you what, those mechs are so cute and adorable that I just want to collect
On n'a
them
pas vu
all
grand
and sit in
chose,
my
hein,
studio painting them
c'est
for
un
hours
Kickstarter
at a
que c'est
time.
en début de dev, je
It
pense.
really is, and I do not apologise. That was the latest exclusive trailer for Animo Stars Arena.
If you liked it, make some noise.
Boo, boo,
But
boo,
also, go to their Kickstarter and wishlist it on Steam. It really helps the devs out.
It really does indeed. Now, the next game that we're going to be talking about is a bit of you, my friend, because it is a time-travelling murder mystery, and it is deliciously weird.
You really know me.
I do indeed, and it's also a world premiere. Enjoy.
World premiere. Ok. Oh, c'est du VR. Dead Watch, pardon.
I'm not quite sure what I just watched, but I do know that I need to play it immediately.
Well, what you did actually watch was Dead Watch, a quirky comedic horror puzzle game that's dropping for PC in 2026. Ames, you still with me?
I'm just wishlisting Dead Watch on Steam.
Ah, right, okay, fair enough.
There we go. Right, that's done. Where are we off to next?
We are going to an 80s fictional abandoned paradise.
I've had worse holidays, mate.
Yeah.
My uncle, he taught me how to see the world, how to listen when no one is speaking. The only thing he ever feared was me, following in his footsteps. But when it's all said and done, he'll be glad I did.
Oh, no.
Right. Please, Mark, I'm gonna need you.
Dark times we're in, eh?
Don't go thinking you're a hero, kid.
There's a reason why they're keeping people out.
Who's behind all this?
Your uncle is a dangerous man, Miss Ravenstone.
If you're hearing this, you're already a part of it.
Dimhaven, The Lost Source, avec une démo. Je voulais noter ça.
That was the latest trailer for Dimhaven, The Lost Source, a narrative-driven puzzle adventure game. And Amy, what the hell are you doing, mate? What are you doing?
Well, our Uber driver's cancelled again.
Right.
We've got to get back to the hotel somehow, so I'm calling a sandworm.
Okay, well, luckily we are talking about Dune Awakening, which this seems very reminiscent of, because we went to go speak to developers about their MMORPG game, and they had things to tell us, big, small, and worm-like. My Uber was like working a couple of minutes ago. We don't need to do this, surely.
We're fine, he said 3 minutes.
This is your path to awakening.
Hello, my name is Joel Bylos, and I'm the creative director in Funcom Oslo, and we're working on Dune Awakening. Dune Awakening is a survival game on a massive scale. It's first and foremost a great Dune game, and then we layer in the survival elements that make a lot of sense because Arrakis is
La démo de Dune qui est disponible sur la chaîne YouTube, si vous voulez voir du gameplay.
Planet, avoiding Sardaukar dropships, and you know, playing through the game as you level up and try to uncover this conspiracy that's happening in the I like to refer back to the actual writing of Frank Herbert because there's a scene in the book where Paul is in an ornithopter and they ask Liet Kynes, what would you do if you were trapped in the desert? And he says very simple, check the integrity of my still suit, stick to rocky ground to avoid the sandworms, and if you're very careful and stay out of the storms, you can make your way out of the desert. And that's kind of how I would expect people to start our game. Get equipped, check the integrity of your gear and make sure that you're getting water, stick to rocky ground, and slowly make your way to civilization. The first thing you need to know about Dune Awakening's story is it takes place in an alternate timeline. In this universe, Jessica Atreides gave birth to a daughter instead of a son, so Paul Atreides does not exist. And the game kind of explores the consequences of that decision. And so you as a player, you start out as a prisoner on a prison transport bound for a place called Neo-Carthag, and your prison ship gets shot down. And you land in this, in this shipwreck. You get rescued from the shipwreck by a mysterious stranger, and that's kind of where your journey begins in the game. And then, as you explore the story, you basically go out with this task: find the Fremen, and you're trying to figure out what has happened to the native people of Arrakis, where they've gone, and why. We aren't going into too much detail about post-launch, but there's one thing I've promised the fans that I can tell them is going to come down the road, and that is riding sandworms.
Dune
Awakening is out now for those who pre-ordered on Steam, on PC. It is coming on June 10th for people who purchase through Steam on PC,
sinon le 10 juin pour les
consoles at a later date.
Amazing stuff.
Sur
Now,
console,
unfortunately,
plus
we
tard.
are at the tail end of our show, but we're going to leave you with one final thing that is absolutely
une
beefy, my
dernière
friends.
annonce.
Get
Ok.
hyped.
Thank you so much for joining us for FGS Live from LA. We've had an amazing time. Thank you for indulging our silly and possibly very sunburnt antics.
Yeah, definitely. But you can get yourself hyped for the next Future Games Show showcase, which is going to be at Gamescom in August. And in between those 2 points, you can go over to the FGS Steam page and wishlist all the games that were featured in this showcase and the one with Matt and Laura.
Speaking of the Steam page, you'll also find a fair few demos over there from many of the games you saw tonight, including the one you're about to see.
So all that's left to say is goodbye, and thank you very much for having us.
Allez, dernière annonce. Qu'est-ce que l'on va avoir?
Masz. Wstrętna, wijąca się i oślizgła masz. Gdzie ja jestem do cholery?
No jak to gdzie? W jeziornych kolonii. No nie wygłupiaj się.
Des zombies langues.
Wiesz jak pogrywać ze szkodnikami, świeżak? O, widzę, że nie z byle kim skacze.
Pewka, się zrobi jazdę próbną. Tam jest fajna trasa.
Proszę tego nie robić.
Kurwa mać, daj kobiecie trochę prywatności.
Cholera jasna, proszę pani!
Przemyśl to. Może będziesz tego żałował.
Austin avec une démo est disponible de suite. Ok, ça se finit comme ça. Bon.
Bien, aujourd'hui il est temps de parler de...
Bon, ok. Et bah ça se termine donc ce Future Game Show live from Los Angeles. Merci YouTube d'avoir suivi, ça va s'arrêter là. Et après ces moult annonces, je me suis noté quelques jeux, notamment David Jones, Dimaven qui avait l'air bien cool aussi. On testera ça en stream, bien entendu. YouTube, merci d'avoir suivi, on se retrouve très vite pour la suite des conférences. Il y en reste encore, bien entendu. On se retrouve très vite. Bye tout le monde.